Hey Rally Besties, welcome back to the Writing with Anna New podcast where we talk about all things writing. Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about editing, my process, and any updates about my new debut novella, Project Ghost, which is actually officially known as GHOSTCIDE now. If you guys want updates, or if you're just new to my channel, new to my face, hello. I am publishing my debut novel very, very soon. I actually just did a live this morning, which was really, really fun, and people are asking when I'm going to publish it, but updates will be coming, so stay tuned on my Instagram, and I do have a lot more details about the book. I have some character reveals coming very soon, actually. I've been working on working with an artist, so I'm so excited to show you that, but I also have quotes, I have aesthetics, I have little details about my book, scenes and everything like that. So do definitely go check that out. It's _AnnaNew. That's my Instagram handle. I update all the way, always on there, even on my current reads and everything like that. So please go follow me there. I'm also kind of wanting to hit 10K, but we'll see. Anyways, let's stop rambling and get on to my process and any updates about Project Ghost. So yeah, of course. First off, I've been working through editing. And I need to tell you guys how difficult it's been. And I did not expect editing to be this difficult. I have become almost not resentful, but just kind of wishing for the days where I started this project, and even just any project. I think I adore writing the first draft especially, or at least the zero draft, because it's so fun and the stakes are so low. So I think realizing and seeing my feedback that I got from my editor, which is just firstly some stylistic and structural and line level edits, it's still so hard, and I'm missing again that sort of low stake, it's just a book, I'm just writing these cute little scenes, when now it's no, this is an official scene in this book which will be published soon, and I'm kind of oh my gosh. And then things my editor has been saying is it's not discouraging. I think it's just because I've never had real professional advice before to this level, where it's kind of very critical and analytic, kind of taking away from the heart of the book and also looking at the book as if it's an essay, and talking about structure and talking about stylistic choice, talking about why wasn't that there, and logical stuff like that. It's really helpful, and I'm literally only up to chapter 2, guys. That's how much flesh I've added to the first chapter and chapter 2. I have been editing this for 2 weeks, and I'm still not even past the second chapter, which is crazy, but that's because of all the amazing advice and sort of guidance I've got from my editor. Just kind of really diving into the start of the book and really ramping up my description and the atmosphere, and knowing that it's okay for me to go on a little ramble, I call it almost, because at least historically, and this is kind of interesting to do with also my YouTube channel and me as a creative, I've always wanted to keep things short, even my poetry short on my Instagram. I've always wanted to keep my videos short until recently, and as well as novellas, right? Because I'm afraid that people will lose interest. I'm afraid that there needs to be more action, that I can't, stay on a scene too much, or I can't, especially at the beginning of the book, I thought people want to meet the ghost boy straight away, but my editor's kind of no, chill. Let's maybe describe the atmosphere. You can really play into all these different themes, really establish where your character is, and kind of taking that extra time to guide the reader instead of being so quick, which I thought was really enticing and something I would like to see in the book. But I've realized that there's no harm in bringing more flesh, building upon more flesh to the skeleton of the book. Sometimes it's weird how I imagine my book as a skeleton now, and how I'm adding flesh, adding more muscle, adding the skin to the book, because it's almost I love the skeleton and how the skeleton looks. I love how bare, but not bare in a sense, more raw, my writing is, and how quick, and how, stuff is just kind of left unsaid. But then, of course, my editor's been hey, maybe you should explain this. Or hey, this is a bit hard to describe. For example, Red is kind of a quarter Asian. She's kind of a bit bordering on half Asian, and it's kind of implied in the story by this character who says something to her, but it's not explicitly said. So I'm kind of really struggling with bordering on that, sort of editing my book in a way that's not explicit and kind of spoon feeding the audience, which I literally don't like doing, but instead kind of like, I don't know, letting them have a little taste, letting them have a little tiny taste, and stuff like that. Also, sorry if you can hear birds in the background. Lorikeets are very, very loud in Australia. Anyways, so yeah, that's kind of like how editing's been going. I've literally only got up to like the second chapter again, and it's been really interesting seeing how I can add more flesh to the book, and really enhance. And I think I really did have a lot of fun, especially yesterday when I was just really working on just this particular scene where I was describing Red just simply stopping on her way back from school, like just before she meets the ghost boys in the book. And I was just describing like the way that she just looked at this old, like, abandoned sort of house, and it had a front yard, and it had a swinging set, like swing set, and she could hear it creak, though she felt no wind on her cheeks. And that sort of description, I've realized having that freedom that I didn't realize I had, was really exciting for me, because I've realized how much this book can be better, and how I really do want to dig into every single little detail of my book and really try to enhance the atmosphere, because I think the atmosphere, the vibes, like if you guys have seen some of my reels on my Instagram, like the vibes in this book is so important. It's like a ghost town. It's like almost like an abandoned, like Chernobyl sort of atmosphere where like the air tastes like rust metal, like that sort of vibe. And there's like broken power lines and half cracked pavements, like all those little details I feel like build up. And I think seeing that, I think this is it actually, I'm kind of realizing it as I'm talking to you guys, is it's because I see it all in my head. How ironic as an author. I see it all in my head. So I expect people just to imagine it. And of course, you guys have imagination. Of course, readers, I have so much faith, and I love, love, love how writers really do open up the sort of page to let people imagine what it looks like or what it feels like. But I think making sure that I give enough and kind of let them notice things that the character notices is really important. And I think the main thing I'm really focusing on is ensuring the audience knows what Red's thinking, while also teetering on the line where they kind of can imagine and always self-impose themselves as the character and see what she's feeling. For example, in the book, let's just end off with an example. Red always wants to ask how the ghost boys died. It's like one of her main drives. She wants to try to figure out how these boys died. And there's so many things she doesn't know. And again, that's because the audience doesn't know as well. So there's things that Red is thinking about or Red is not thinking about, which the audience will know or will not know and will want to know in a way. So that I think I've done really well, but kind of tying into the scenes and the themes of Red, particularly since she is the main character. And I think it's a bit hard because it is third person, but centered around Red. It's a little bit more difficult in that sense, but it could be maybe easier to kind of have the objectivity. And I think I talk through Red is a very apathetic person. So I was scared with my editor. She was kind of saying what is she feeling? I don't know what she's feeling here. And it's like, she's feeling something, but she's apathetic towards it. So she has no feeling to it. And that's her feeling. So like, do you see how hard it is writing Red? And I've realized how difficult I've chosen Red to be. And it's interesting, one of my reels that actually went pretty, not viral, but like it got like 70K views. I'm like, oh my gosh, 70K, that's a lot. And it's kind of about how I'm like exposing myself through Red. So if you guys want to know how I view myself, my experiences, who I am as a character, read my book and see Red's head, basically. So that's kind of like what my editing process has been so far. I've just been kind of dealing with it as it comes. I've definitely felt a little bit demotivated and stressed about writing, particularly in the last couple of days, just about me, myself, and just like stuff like that. So I really am just editing when I feel like it. And when I feel frustrated, I turn away and do something else. Usually I read or something. So that's been really helpful, just kind of, coming to the book, because it's not like I need the book written. It's already there and it can be edited and worked on, but not when I'm in the wrong headspace. So I think walking through this new experience of editing and this sort of critique on the backhand is really, really helping me build myself as a writer and also identify the writing style within the book, which was something I found really, really scary because I thought this book has no writing style. I feel like so like almost like, oh my gosh, all these writers, like they write so amazingly, this like literary fiction vibe, like, oh, it's so beautiful, but it doesn't seem the right fit for Project Ghost because I love flowery language. I love it so much, but for this book, it does not work. And I think having that comfort helps me a lot. But anyways, that's my big ramble. I hope you guys enjoyed. I didn't give you too much detail, but maybe I gave you some detail. It's been really fun, honestly, editing, and I really hope to finish edits hopefully by the end of, not by the end of November, probably the end of the year. If I can do that, I'll be amazed before I go overseas because I'm going overseas on exchange, by the way, study exchange. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. Wish me luck, and I hopefully will have a couple more editing vlogs for the future. So stay tuned for that and stay tuned on my Instagram as well. Thank you so much for listening in, and I hope you're excited for GHOSTCIDE. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Some people are kind of asking how you pronounce GHOSTCIDE. It's GHOSTCIDE, by the way. But I love you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone!